Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we'll begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MK Ultra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got their crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all been understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens is on the sun or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all been understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. Happy Members Only Monday. Thank you to each and every one of you who are an active member on the channel. Your support is so greatly appreciated. And I very much look forward to doing Members Only Mondays, even though I forgot the name of it yesterday. But hello, Harlot, people of me. Hi, Megan, Hippie Chick, Crime Crochet Coiffee, Amanda Love, Katrina, Kathy Four, Michelle. We have so many Michelles in the chat. Hi, J Lord, Caffeinated Slug, Papa Claus, Kel, Hippie Chick, Elena, Mayla's mom, Amanda Love. We have Karen D. Hi, Karen D. It's nice to see you again. MJ's Wolfie. We have Forgets and Shiggles. Chase is on the case. We have Caffeinated Slugs. Yay, I'm still a member. Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm so happy. Mick Not Mac, who says this intro song gets stuck in my head every time. I'll be cleaning up the playroom, bopping around to it in my head. Then it does its purpose, right? It's meant to get stuck in your head. Hi, Sherry Williams, God's Child. Ooh, hi, Sarah Bellum. Hi, Nicola. Hi. How is everybody? Oh, welcome, Opinionated. We're so happy. Thank you so much for joining. We're glad that you can attend Members Only Monday. Yes, and make sure that If you are watching and you're not a member, just make sure that you're opted in, because we have a lot of generous people and you're bound to eventually get gifted a membership as long as you're opted in. But thank you for anybody who's watching behind the wall and just can't type. Hi, Abellas, Kathy R. Hi, guys. And thank you so much, Opinionated, for becoming a member. So before we get started with the calls, I just wanted to pull up these documents from the case files. Just so it's, and I've showed you guys these before, but I wanted to kind of refresh our memories a bit, because it really adds to the aggression. Well, I left off very aggressive yesterday because I was mad, but I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. Yes. Up. Oh, okay. Wait, I think I did that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5, 6. Okay, I think I did that right. Yes. Okay. So I want to pull this up. Elena, you guys, Elena just gifted 10 members. Thank you, Elena. And congratulations. If you just got busted out by Elena from behind the wall, please make sure you thank her in the chat. That is so kind and so generous. And Katrina just gifted. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. That is so kind, so generous. And welcome to our 15 new members. Make sure you thank them in the chat if you just received one. You guys are amazing. There you go, Jenny B. Thank you. Hey, Crichton. Hey, Heather. That was beyond kind. There's my black heart. Thank you, guys. And congratulations. Yeah, members only Monday. I love our weekly members lives. Welcome, Beat Crumbs. Thank you so much for becoming a member as well. Thank you. Okay, so 1 second. Oh, here, my thank you. Thank you. So sweet. I know, right? So sweet. Beyond sweet, beyond generous. Thank you so much for the support. I feel like I don't deserve you guys. You guys are so amazing. Hi, B Crumbs. I had to bust myself out. I had to get a new card. I feel ya. All right. So I wanted to just refresh our memories. Put a 1 in the chat, which I know, Heather, right? Put a 1 in the chat, because I've shown you guys the Safe Passage interview with Lena before. But put a 1 in the chat if you haven't seen or heard of the Safe Passage interview with Lena. Oh, thank you so much, Danielle. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much, and I really do look forward to this all the time. Carrie Beth 1, Heather 1, Creative Minds 1, Destination 1. Oh, okay, there's a lot of 1s. Okay, so I've shown this before. This is in the case files, but for anybody who may not have been here, because this was episode 1 of the case files, which is back in October now. So I wanted to pull it up. Aw, thank you, Kel. I wanted to pull it up because I want it to be fresh in our minds. And, oh, you haven't, J-Lord? Okay. Because I know that we sometimes a lot of times focus on how ridiculous Letecia could be and how, like, I'll use my sense of humor to try to just balance my emotions based on Letecia's behavior while she's in jail. But I think it's good to circle back and to remember that Letecia had multiple victims. And when I say that, I am not trying to minimize what happened to Gannon. Gannon is the number 1 victim, but she's had multiple victims. And Lena is a victim of Letecia's. Harley is a victim of Letecia's. Al, Landon, she has multiple victims. And what Lena described, and I know that there's a lot of people who may not put too much credibility into what Lena said in her safe passage interview? I do actually, because we can pretty much take half of that interview and take the statements that Lena made, and we can align it with what we know to be true. So why would you believe that the other half isn't true? If the parts that we can verify add up completely, what would make you think the other parts aren't credible? Now, of course, when I say that, you have to leave a little room for it's an 8-year-old child. And Letecia made sure to have Lena see what she wanted her to see, and then she's also hearing things from her parents. It's a very confusing time. So you have to leave a little room to wiggle. But for the most part, I really put a lot of credibility in what she's saying. And it doesn't mean that it has to be exact, versus this is the best way that an 8-year-old can relay what she experienced. Okay. Oh, thank you, Abellis. Abellis just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. You guys are so amazing, so kind. Thank you, thank you. Make sure that you thank Abellis if you just received a membership. So thank you, thank you. There is a lot of truth in her statement. A lot of truth. And yeah, Lena was only 8. And so I think this is the best that she was able to do. And it's not a long, it's only a page and a half, but I wanted to start off by reading this for anybody who may not have heard it. It's trigger warning now. It is very sensitive in nature, and it can be triggering, and it depicts a very horrific scenario. Now, we already knew that about Gannon's murder, but to hear it in the eyes of his little sister, and why I want to also point out how truly evil Letecia was. Lena put her brother to bed for the last night. That's going to haunt her for the rest of her life. Okay? And I think that the totality of damage and trauma Lena has suffered hasn't even set in yet, because I think it's only with age that Lena is going to become aware of just how involved Letecia made her. And she's going to be struggling with what she remembers, what she doesn't remember, but having to come to the acceptance that she put her brother to bed for the last time. She was one of the last people to see her brother alive. This is what I mean by she is a victim. Letecia could have easily carried Gannon on her own. He was not heavy. And especially if you don't want anyone to know what you're up to, you could do it. Letecia chose to involve Lena. She chose to fuck that kid up. She chose to make her involved in her own brother's murder. And when I say that, it's unbeknownst to Lena. She was a child. She doesn't know. She has no idea what she's being a part of. But why Letecia chose to force Lena into that situation, one of those things that'll haunt me as far as trying to figure out. Why did she want Lena to see? Why did she take Lena and have her aid? That's strange to me, because in my mind, it's like you wouldn't want any witnesses. You wouldn't want an 8-year-old who you know is going to tell her dad. So I'm still, and I would love to hear your guys' feedback. I'm still trying to understand why she chose to involve Lena when she didn't have to. So we're going to start by going over real quick the safe passage interview. The names are redacted because it's minors. But I'm going to read it without the redactions because it's just Gannon and Lena and stuff. Hey, Amber. So It says the safe passage interview with Gannon's bio parents, and basically it said that they've been keeping Lena away from the media as much as they can. Al and Landon said Lena did see the video that was put out on the news because Al was watching it and Lena looked over his shoulder. And if you don't know what video we're referring to the infamous truck footage where they don't believe Gannon got back out with Letecia, but he got out the other side of the truck. I know, Elena, that's definitely one of them, but it's just so weird. It's just really weird. Hey, Allie. Now it says the video on the news is a home camera system where it is assumed that Letecia and Gannon get in a red truck in the driveway. Both parents said that Lena is seeking a lot more attention lately. I could imagine. They said that Lena has realized that some of the things that her stepmother Letecia said was just a lie. And Lena has been calling Letecia a liar. Al and Landon said they are trying to not let Lena hear adult conversations about Gannon. They said that Lena is in counseling and has completed a session so far. So then they attempted to do the safe passage interview with Lena. Lena struggled, as you're going to see. She was in and out of the room, couldn't sit still. But it's an 8-year-old child who just went through trauma, and it wasn't even the situation, the murder itself and what she was involved in. And imagine watching your parents crumbling, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to understand what the truth is, and overhearing everything. It's all on the news. This child went through horror. She really did. Thank you so much, Papa Claus. Almost our 1-year anniversary. Yes. Wow. 1 more month away. So, and thank you so much. Hi, D Love by 2. It starts by saying, all right, when it was time for the interview to begin with Lena didn't want to go into the interview room. Karen, along with the parents and staff from Safe Passage, attempted to get Lena in the interview room for a while. However, Lena did not want to go in the room. At first, Lena didn't want to leave the playroom, and then she would run around the building into different rooms and hide underneath a table in a conference room. While she was running around the hallways, she was laughing and saying she did not want to be in there. Due to attempting to get Lena into an interview room, there were 2 CDs made with recordings. The first CD consisted of attempting to get Lena into a room, and the second CD consisted of the interview with Lena. So we're about to read the actual interview with Lena now. Right, exactly. Okay. Yeah, she was 8, Harlot, correct. So it says, at approximately 30 minutes at 9:52 a.m., Lena went into the interview room with Karen and the interview began. The following is a synopsis of the interview with Lena and should not be considered a verbatim transcription. Okay. Karen started the interview by attempting to build a rapport with Lena. Karen told Lena that during this interview, she is not in any trouble and they just want to talk about stuff that is true and real. Lena nodded her head, yes. She would talk to Karen. However, during the interview, Lena struggled to remain still, and on at least 2 occasions, she ran out of the interview room. Now, I just want to stop there for a moment because kids don't know how to process emotions the way that adults do. So I think her behavior is indicative of feeling very uncomfortable, feeling like there's still an active threat. And by her running out of the room, we as adults know it doesn't matter where you run, your emotions are going to follow. But for a child in an 8-year-old mindset, I am uncomfortable, I'm leaving. That's how I interpret the behavior that Lena is showing. Due to Lena being unable to focus, a full interview could not be completed. However, the following information was obtained. Lena said they went hiking on Sunday, January 26, 2020. She began to explain the hike. She said at the end of the hike, and I quote, Gannon used the bathroom in his pants, end quote. Lena says later that night, there was a fire. Gannon forgot to put his candle out, and the candle got knocked over. Letecia, saved Bubba's. Bubba is a nickname Lena uses for Gannon. So Tisha saved Bubba's. Tisha put blankets over Gannon to put out the fire. Gannon had a little bit of fire on his shirt. When Lena was describing where the fire was on Gannon, she pointed to her left side lower abdomen. It is unsure if Gannon's shirt was on fire. Now I'm going to pause there for a second. While listening to this, guys, you know you cannot take what Lena's saying to be exact. You need to account for what she was told. So when I am reading this, I do not take for fact that Gannon knocked the candle over, that Tisha threw the blanket over. Things like that, I'm taking as that is what she was told. And I think that you guys will be able to do a good job at kind of sifting through and determining what she knew for herself because she witnessed it versus what she told. Two very different things. But I think that she was told that from the start and she's relaying it. I'm so sorry, creative minds. You could come back in a few minutes. It's not that long. It's only this one page, and then we're going to move on. Okay. It says, Lena said, when the fire happened, she was in her bedroom on her bed. So when that candle incident happened, the infamous candle incident, Lena was in her room on her bed. Therefore, she's saying she did not witness it. Lena heard the fire alarm going off. Tisha said, and I quote, load up the car with the puppies. Gannon was freaking out, saying, I quote, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Tisha kept saying, I quote, okay, it's okay. So those are Lena's words. They are quoted. Those are her words that Tisha said, load up the car with the puppies. Gannon's freaking out saying, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. And Tisha kept saying, okay, it's okay. Now, we all saw that horrific video of Letecia recording Gannon, and that is aligning with what we know Gannon is to say, I'm really sorry. Horrible, horrible, okay? So they got in the car and they drove around in the car. When they got back home, Tisha told Lena to go into Tisha's room because she did not want Lena to go into her own bedroom. Lena said Tisha did not want her in her own room because, and I quote, people can look through her window. Now I'm going to stop there again. That is so spot on with something Letecia would say. And that is not something I think an 8-year-old created in her mind. It is too spot on with the paranoia, strange behavior, and the way Letecia was acting. What are the chances that that isn't what Letecia said and this 8-year-old just thought of it? I am inclined to believe that that is exactly what Letecia said to her. People can look through the windows. Now, I also then have to ask myself, while putting credibility into that, why didn't Letecia want Lena to go into her own room? You have to ask yourself this. Why did Letecia prefer Lena to be in her and Al's bedroom? So keep that in mind. So Lena said Tisha did not want Lena in her own room because people can look through her window. Lena was in Tisha's room and was watching the puppies. Letecia was downstairs with Gannon. Lena could hear Gannon crying. Karen said, "What happened next?" Lena said, "Then it was the next day." So I'm going to pause again right there. This is absolutely accurate to what happened because we have the candle video. In the candle video that Letecia ultimately released, if you go all the way to the beginning of it, before she's having that interaction with Gannon and saying, we're going to have to sell the couch, we're going to have to do something to fix this, okay? When Letecia accidentally starts recording, it was in her room. And who do we see laying in the bed with the dogs? It's Lena. Lena is in Letecia and Al's bed with that wedge pillow, and she's laying down. And I forget what she says, but she said, what's going on or something. And Letecia starts the recording, and then she walks through the living room. You could hear the news playing, and then you see her go down the stairs in the pitch dark. And then we hear the interaction between Letecia and Gannon is crying. He mentions his burns and he's bleeding. That is absolutely accurate to what Lena just said. From this 8-year-old's perspective, she was in the bed. She was watching the dogs. And then Letecia was downstairs with Gannon, and she heard, when we're watching that video, Lena is upstairs and she hears this, okay? So again, I really want to point out the parts that we can verify, they're verified. This is accurate. So the parts that I can't verify, I'm more inclined to believe that this is very close to the truth versus something that she heard or making up. No. She said, "What am I going to do?" Okay, thank you, Opinionated. Because a lot of that video, when it first went around, didn't have the beginning part of it. They clipped it right to the Gannon. No, she starts in her bedroom, flips the light on. Lena's in bed, laying down. I don't know if she was sucking her thumb, but she was definitely kind of holding the blanket up. And you watch Letecia walk through the house, go down the stairs, and then have the interaction with Gannon, who was crying. Okay? Karen asked Lena if Gannon's shirt caught on fire and how she knew that. Lena said the shirt did catch on fire, and she knew this because Tisha told her. So again, circling back around, you will be able to figure out which parts Lena witnessed versus what she was told. So she's openly saying, I know this happened because that's what Tisha told me. Tisha showed Lena her burn mark. When Lena was describing where Tisha got burned, she pulled up her sleeve on her left arm and pointed to the bottom of her forearm. Pause it there. We have seen numerous interviews with Letecia. When Letecia shows where she got burned, what does she do in the video? She rolls up that 90s jacket, that 90s windbreaker jacket with her freaking meatball pepperoni hot pocket next to her. And she explains how she got burned, and she pulls her arm up and she shows a burn kind of near the inner of her elbow. So the fact that Lena literally says, well, this is where Tisha got burned, and Lena rolls up her sleeve and she points to the exact spot. Guess what? Again, another thing we can verify, because that is telling me Letecia did the same thing to Lena that she did in the interview. We saw Letecia do that with her own eyes. So far, this 8-year-old is very accurately, in my opinion, relaying what she witnessed. So exactly how Letecia relayed to the cops and stuff. Well, look, I even got burned right here, and she rolls up her sleeve. That's exactly what Lena is showing us she's doing. But then again, you have to remind yourself, wow, Letecia was even going to Lena and being like, look, I got burned. Lena saw what Letecia wanted her to see. Yeah, her kosher pepperoni hot pocket. So Tisha showed Lena her burn mark. When Lena was describing where Tisha got burned, she pulled up her sleeve on her left arm and pointed to the bottom of her forearm. Hi, Stephanie. Gannon's burns were also on his arm, but Lena did not know which arm. Karen asked how she knew, and Lena said, because Tisha told me. So, okay, that part, I cannot confirm or put credibility in whether or not Gannon was actually burned, which I'm inclined to believe he was because he mentions it. But we can now see that Lena did not see those burns for herself. She's relaying where Gannon got burned because Tisha told it to her. So did not see it herself. Then again, I circle it right back around. Tisha took the time to show 8-year-old Lena where Gannon got burned. Ask yourself why. Lena said Tisha was freaking out and described this as Tisha in her room taking several very deep breaths, and then said she fell asleep in her bed. Hey, Shiny Popstar. This is so accurate to how I imagine it playing out. So Lena's in Letecia's bedroom on that bed, and imagine her coming back upstairs from after that candle video. We don't know what happened, but she's pacing around the room. Hi, Teacup Crankin. She's pacing around the room and she's freaking out. And this is an 8-year-old's perspective. She is freaking out and she's taking several deep breaths. That's an 8-year-old's perspective. So imagine how bad it must have been. And that tells me Letecia either just failed at an attempt to murder Gannon, or Gannon is much more injured than she expected, and she's freaking out, figuring out, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? She has to create this story. She has to create this now. She's making the choice to follow through with that murder, guys. And she's, all right. She's freaking out. This is accurate. When Tisha was freaking out, Gannon was in Lena's bed because there was smoke downstairs. So, okay, pause. We know in that candle video, Gannon was downstairs in the pitch dark. Now, what I'm not going to rely on is a chronological order of events from this 8-year-old. So I'm curious if after that candle video is when Letecia had Gannon come follow her upstairs and you go sleep in Lena's bed. I think at this point, Letecia didn't know how the events were going to play out. And for whatever reason, she had Lena go stay in her room and she put Gannon in Lena's room. Okay. Was it because of the smoke? I can't believe it was that, because she sent Gannon back downstairs with the windows open, freezing. Yes. Tisha and Lena put Gannon in Lena's bed. So Lena and Letecia put Gannon in Lena's bed. Well, wait a second. Why did either of them have to put Gannon in Lena's bed? We're going to get there, J Lord. Why? Harley was still at work at this point. Why couldn't he go by himself? What happened from when that candle video ended? What happened that Gannon could not get into bed by himself? So Gannon was in Lena's bed because there was smoke downstairs. Letecia and Lena put Gannon in Lena's bed. Gannon was crying, but not anymore when he went into Lena's bed. Gannon did not say anything when he was crying. When Gannon is crying, I think she's referring to the candle incident video. But by the time Lena is assisting putting him in her bed with Letecia, Gannon's not crying anymore. Why? Hi, Pinche. Hi, sweetest taboo. I know. Oh, thank you, Starlight Angel. Better late than never. Hi, friends. Hi, Starlight Angel, and thank you so much. It's so kind of you. Thank you. What happened? And yes, we do know that he was drugged. We don't know specifically when, so that's why I like breaking down how the events unfolded to try to figure out when was he administered this medication. Hi, bend over. Lena said when it was time for her to go to bed, Gannon was taken to his room by Tisha and Lena, so Lena could sleep in her own bed. So wait a second. At first, Tisha tells Lena, you need to sleep in my bed because people can look through your windows. Then Lena hears Letecia downstairs with Gannon. Gannon's crying. Next thing we know, Lena and Tisha are helping Gannon into Lena's bed. and it's already night at this point, guys, into Lena's bed. He wasn't crying anymore. But now when it's time for Lena to go to bed, which I thought she was already in your bed, Letecia. Now Letecia has Lena get up and help me move Gannon back downstairs, which I don't think it's Lena's fault that this isn't adding up. I think it was Letecia, like she's doing her best, accurately relaying how the events unfolded, but it doesn't make sense because Tisha was going crazy and moving like, all right, you're going to sleep here. No, now you're going to sleep here. Let's bring him back down. I think Tisha didn't know what she was doing. So Lena said when it was time for her to go to bed, Gannon was taken to his room by Letecia and Lena, so Lena could sleep in her own bed. Lena said when Letecia moved Gannon to his room, Gannon was, and I quote, asleep. How do we go from the hysterics, the Gannon, I'm sorry, I'm worried about my burns, to now it's time to move Gannon back downstairs, and he was sleeping? In my opinion, he was knocked out. He was medicated. I think she administered that medication. See, this is the hard part. I don't know if it was before or after the candle incident. It may have been both. I don't know what levels, it was in his system. Oh, right, Elena. Oh, my goodness. That was so frustrating. All we know is that when Lena and Letecia was moving Gannon, he wasn't conscious, guys. He was knocked out, sleeping. I don't know. But he wasn't awake and alert. Harley came home from work at Massage Envy. So this tells us all of these events occurred prior, which again, there's not that much time. So I struggle with this. There's not that much time. So Harley came home from work at Massage Envy. She came home and began loving on her dog, Chance. Letecia and Lena told Harley what happened, referencing the candle. Harley asked if Gannon was okay. Letecia told Lena, "You have to go to sleep in your bedroom." Lena went to her room and went to sleep. Lena said when she went to bed, Tisha and Harley were watching TV in the living room. When Gannon was in Lena's bed, now again, this is jumping a little bit all over, but it's an 8-year-old doing her best to relay. So back when Gannon was still in Lena's bed, Lena was in Daddy's room in the bed with dogs. Lena said Daddy was on an airplane. Again, accurate. And we know Lena was there. We saw Lena there in the video. Lena said the following day she had school because it was Monday, January 27th. Gannon could not go to school because of his tummy. Then Lena said, and I quote, "Tisha made this up and it was just a lie." Which that I account for what she was hearing from her parents. And I don't blame her parents. I'm just saying what this child overheard as his parents were trying to figure out what happened to their baby. And so she overheard it was a lie. Lena talked about Tisha putting Gannon in the car, went somewhere, dropped him off, and then went back home. Again, that is what Lena was hearing. Poor Gannon's parents were trying desperately to figure out what happened to their child. Was the candle incident real? Was this? Was that? They didn't know anything, and they were trying to figure it out. And Lena clearly overheard her parents talking. So you can differentiate what she witnessed, what she was told, and what she heard. This is what she heard. Karen asked how Lena knew about that. She said she saw it on someone else's camera, and she's talking about the footage of Letecia coming back in the Tiguan, and everyone did not think Gannon returned, but he got out the other side of the Tiguan. He lives 2 houses down, and his camera can see all the way to his house, she said. This was also the video that was on the news that Lena saw. When Lena went to school, she said Gannon was in his room sleeping. That's accurate. You want to know how? Because Letecia took those horrible photos, proof of life photos, a little after 8 a.m. Monday morning, and he was in his bed. Lena said she knew he was asleep because, ready? She helped put him in his bed. Lena helped put him in his bed. When Lena helped put him in his bed, Karen asked, well, what did Gannon look like? Hi, Carolina. Lena demonstrated straightening out her body out on the couch to act as if she was sleeping, and she closed her eyes. This is an 8-year-old trying to relay what she saw. She said, Lena said, Letecia had to bend Gannon's legs because he was too sleepy to walk. Let that sink in. What happened to Gannon after that candle video? That he could not walk on his own. Letecia had to bend Gannon's legs because he was too sleepy to walk. Lisa Lee, from the main floor, Lena's room, down in the basement to Gannon's room. Now, also ask yourself, like I said in the beginning, Letecia could have moved Gannon on her own. He was not heavy. And especially if you are up to no good and you don't want anybody to see, you could have moved him on his own. Why did Letecia choose to have 8-year-old Lena help carry Gannon down the stairs? No, it wasn't Rigger J. Lord, because Gannon is seen alive walking after 10 a.m. the next morning. This is it's all the parts that don't make sense, and it's very frustrating going around and around trying to figure out how did this play out. So Letecia had to bend Gannon's legs because he was too sleepy to walk. Tisha and Lena helped Gannon go downstairs. Lena and Letecia took Gannon to his bedroom. Then Lena saw the fire spot. She described a big cutout on the carpet near the couch. She said there was also some candle wax on the couch. Okay, so I'm going to stop there again. Letecia had Lena help carry Gannon down the stairs all the way to his bedroom. Now, if you're not familiar with the layout of this house, Lena 100% did not just see the candle burn spot in passing. When you go down the base to the basement, imagine the stairs in the middle. To the left is where Gannon's room was. To the right, all the way up against the wall, basically, of that room is where the burn was. So my point is, for Lena to say that's when she saw the candle burn and that there was wax on the couch tells me that Letecia took her over to that spot to show her, because even if she walked downstairs to Gannon's room, she would have had to go on the other side of the basement to see where that burn occurred. So why did Letecia take the time to guide Lena over to that spot and point and say, see, look, you see the carpet, this big hole, and you see the couch? Letecia made sure that Lena saw it. Lena said she was getting ready for school. Harley was at work. Lena asked Karen if she could use the restroom. When Karen and Lena came back into the room, Karen continued the conversation discussing what occurred when she came home from school. Lena said Tisha was the only one home and she just got done working out. Working out. Well, I'm sure that is what Letecia told Lena, because Letecia was out of breath, sweaty, messy, blood pumping. So Letecia answers that door when Lena comes home and says she was working out. No, she had just committed a heinous murder. Lena asked Letecia where Gannon was, and she replied he was downstairs sleeping. Lena asked if she could go check on him, and Letecia said no. Lena described Tisha as cleaning stuff. Tisha was cleaning her room and the kitchen. She got the supplies to clean from under the sink. While Tisha was cleaning, Lena went outside to ride Gannon's bike because something was wrong with her bike. Again, another part that we can verify this is what took place. So this child is very accurately relaying the events as we know that they did occur. When Lena was done riding her bike, Tisha was the only one at the house and she was still cleaning. She was cleaning her room and the kitchen. Lena said when Tisha went to pick up Albert from the airport, she stayed at the babysitter's house. When asked what occurred next, Lena said it was Tuesday. Lena did not go to school because Gannon was missing. Lena said that Tisha acted good with her and then left the room. Karen was able to get Lena back to the room and to continue the interview. Karen was able to only ask one more question of what Lena had to eat. Lena replied, popcorn, soup, beef jerky for a snack, and she had cereal for dinner. Lena then walked out of the room, concluding the interview. It was just either the last episode or the one before that where we're listening to Letecia and Harley on a call, and Harley said she's had cereal for dinner, and Leticia's like, cereal? Are you kidding me? Why not something with substance? And I told you guys. Well, right after you murdered Lena's brother, that's what you fed her for dinner. So it was good enough for her, right? I put a lot of credibility in this statement. Not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. But the parts that we cannot verify, I'm more inclined to believe, with some wiggle room, this is what occurred. And it's horrific. So when I said that I do not think the full extent of Lena's trauma has not set in, because it's only going to be as she gets older that this child realizes, oh my God, was I part indirectly, unknowingly, in my brother's demise, in my brother's murder? I put my brother to bed for the last night, and she's gonna struggle. She's gonna struggle because she was the only one. She was the only one that was there that could have spoken out. She's gonna struggle with wanting to have saved him. Instead, you made her complicit. And we hear how Letecia admits that she had Lena clean up blood. So Letecia had multiple victims. And she made Lena put her brother to bed the last night before he was murdered. And she's going to struggle with that for her entire life. And the interview with Landon said she immediately knew something was desperately wrong when she was told Gannon was missing, because Lena was not missing. And she said Gannon and Lena were so close. So close. And Gannon wouldn't have gone anywhere without Lena. This is another example of how multiple people failed Gannon. Everyone failed Gannon to some extent. Lisa Lee, his front door. He's seen getting into the Tiguan, but he appears injured, dazed, cradling his stomach. He was killed once they returned after 2:30, right before Lena got home. This is another example. Gannon reported the abuse. Gannon reported the abuse to his teacher 2 weeks prior to his murder. 2 weeks prior to his murder, he told his teacher. Everyone failed Gannon. But this is from the case files, and it says on March 6th, Detective John Price was contacted by Detective Sergeant Abenshaw. He told me he received a phone call last night from Redacted. I think it's Landon. She attended a school function at which she learned there were reports of physical abuse made to the staff of Grand Mountain Elementary School. The reports are alleged to have occurred last fall and again 2 weeks prior to the disappearance of Gannon. So not only were they made 2 weeks prior to his murder, they were also made aware of the abuse the previous fall. Okay? Oh, thank you, Robin. Robin just gifted a membership. Congratulations. If you received it, make sure you thank Robin. Thank you. Thank you so much. So 2 times. 2 times. Well, all the blood wasn't cleaned up before Lena got home, hence why she did not let Lena in that home. She made Lena go ride her bike. I know, right, honey? That's what's so frustrating. Everyone failed this boy, because do you know how terrifying it is to report that as a child? You don't know. Oh, that's a hard question, Lisa Lee, because Lennon confronted Letecia after Lena described an abusive situation. Al made her apologize. He didn't believe it. And then this was only found out with the school after his murder, and because they never reported it to DCFS, despite being mandated reporters. And in the doctor's notes that I've showed you guys, Al admits to the doctor that Letecia is, the word abusive wasn't used, but she does not treat Gannon right. And he does not think that Letecia likes the kids. And definitely indicative of abuse, but does not say abuse. So he knew something was up, but do I think he genuinely believed this would ever happen? No, I don't think that. But this is why I think we need to all be aware of red signs, because you never know. You never know. Don't minimize things. Don't minimize those red flags. Don't become desensitized to them, especially when it involves your children. So she attended a school function at which she learned there were reports of physical abuse made to the staff of Grand Mountain Elementary. The reports are alleged to have occurred last fall and again 2 weeks prior to the disappearance of Gannon. The report in January was the result of a bruise on Gannon, which his teacher thought was indicative of physical abuse. No report of the bruise was made to DHS. Redactor, Gannon's teacher is redacted, and Sergeant Abenshaw directed me to follow up on his concern. At 10:12 a.m., I spoke with Landon via telephone. She stated she met with a DHS caseworker yesterday, and she learned that DHS had no prior reports of child abuse concerning Gannon or Lena. Nothing. It was never reported to DHS. However, Landon has learned that sometime last fall, Gannon reported to his teacher that he had been physically abused by Letecia. Further, 2 weeks prior to his disappearance, Gannon showed a bruise to his teacher and reported that Letecia had caused them. The teacher reported it to the school administration, but the complaint did not go any further. This never should have happened. This never should have happened. That child risked further abuse by speaking out, because as a child, you don't understand that speaking out is the right thing to do. You would just be terrified of it happening more. And he probably wanted to protect his sister too. Landon confronted Letecia about this. Landon confronted Al about this abuse. He responded with an angry text demanding that Landon apologize to Letecia for this accusation. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped one. So Landon also stated in May of 2019, Lena suffered an injury to her upper lip. That's what I'm talking to you guys about. Ready? Lena suffered an injury to her upper lip. She told Landon, so Lena told her mom that Letecia had rubbed her head into the carpet. This injury was seen by a substitute teacher at Webster Elementary School. There was a friend, and that friend's mother reported the injury to the administration of Webster Elementary School, and the school did not forward the allegation of child abuse to DHS or law enforcement. That's 3 times 2 separate kids. 3 incidents that the school was aware of, 2 separate children, 1 household, 1 abuser. None of them were reported to DHS or law enforcement. Landon confronted Al about this abuse, and Al responded with an angry text demanding that Landon apologize to Letecia for this accusation. Landon sent me a copy of this text, and I showed you guys it, and 2 photos of Lena's lip injury. She stated she had already disclosed this information to a detective during a prior interview, and that these images had already been discovered during a download of her cell phone. Landon did not have any additional information. I researched and discovered both redacted and the staff of Grand Mountain Elementary School have been interviewed. Further, Mrs. Troutman has also apparently been interviewed by an unknown detective. Detectives Bethel and Riley are not working today. I sent Landon a text informing her of my plan to confer with Detectives Bethel and Riley and to pursue this matter further after that. How gross is that? It's frustrating. So I just wanted to go over those couple of things before going into this next call, because it's good to have the full context, and it really shows you how little this person has for life. Like, she has no regard for life whatsoever. but it could have been prevented. It was preventable. Believe the children. When they tell you abuse is happening, you believe them. Don't doubt the children. But this next call we had left off with yesterday, Letecia had spoken to Aunt Brenda, and then she had spoken to Harley. So this next call is again with Harley. So let me just pull up the date. All right, so this would be November 7th, and this is actually right after the call that hung up yesterday with Harley. It's going to pick up right back off where we left off. So hold on, let me just make sure this is good.
Hey. All right. About anybody riding in the car, right?
Right.
So that way it's on me. Because it should be on me, because you're my child. So the car is going to be...
Thank you for using Global Tellink.
So it's going to pick right back up now.
Hey. All right. And so the other money that's going to be left, you're going to use that as a safety net in the bank. All right?
There is
Because
one.
the other large amount I have to have for private counsel. And that's a lot of money, right? I mean, sure. I mean, I've thought about it, giving it to you, being like, here, just buy your house and let it be paid for. But I also need my freedom because this is crazy. I'm getting hoodooed with not.
Now you guys have the context. So if I become raging and angry, it's because this is always in my mind. Everything we just read is always in my mind. So when she says things like, I need my freedom, and my voice gets very loud, I apologize, but it's because all of those things, all of those images run through my mind.
Need my freedom because this is crazy. I'm getting hoodooed with nonsense, right? So that's why I have to use it for that.
No.
All right, so you're not going to say anything. If someone asks you, like, hey, did you get money for your mom? Just like, yeah, you don't have to explain anything about how much. You don't have to say anything. As far as they're concerned, Aunt Brenda's been giving her $15,000 for the car.
$15,000.
And I'm not doing it unless she's going to agree that it's going to be on my insurance and you. If not, we're going to go with the other plan, which is to find you one. Do you understand?
Okay.
But I'm trying to get, I'd rather you have a car that's safe, new, whatever. Nissans are not bad cars. I know you're frustrated about that, but I've owned how many of them? Never had the first problem. Just every once in a while, things go wrong like that.
Lazy
Look up to the
ones.
Volkswagen and the lights. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've already straightened her out about the Nissan thing because I already had it handled. I already knew that you were telling the truth about the Nissan thing because I had already checked into it about the whole.
This is what I was cracking up about yesterday. So if you weren't here yesterday, she's on the phone with Aunt Brenda, and Aunt Brenda's like, I have the bank statements. If you only saw, she's spending $20 a day on Starbucks, and she's traveling, and she's got a modeling consultant. And Letecia's like, well, Aunt Brenda, I don't have the bank statements in front of me. And Aunt Brenda's like, I can mail them to you. And then she hangs up, and yes, that's my Aunt Brenda accent. I can't do it good, but then she picks up the phone with Harley, and she's like, Harley, why'd you lie to me? I have the bank statements right in front of me. I see them. No, you don't. No, you don't. And so she's yelling at Harley for lying while she's simultaneously lying. And then she's also telling her to lie to people and not be honest about the amount of money that she's getting. Spoiler alert, she doesn't get any. And that she doesn't want Harley to have a relationship with her family because she's mad at her family. Yeah, a model consignment. Exactly. At the Apple store. Oh my goodness.
Window. And I set her straight on that.
No, you
And
didn't.
she was, why didn't they let me know? Well, you know what? Maybe they didn't send it to you, or maybe they did. I don't know. The point is, that's why I want the car in my name or Harley's name. Or I told her, or we're going to take the $15,000 and we're going to go buy another car. I said, so I told her, I said, you sit and think about it for a day or two. I said, because I still got it in the process. And I said,
bitch, she said none of. Put a 1 in the chat if you were here yesterday. Did you at any point hear Tisha get all cocky and tell Aunt Brenda, why don't you take a day or two? How about you take a day or two while I figure this out? Bitch, no, you did not tell Aunt Brenda to take a day or two. Who are you playing? No. Tisha, did you genuinely tell Aunt Brenda to take a day or two? Did you act cocky?
No.
Yes.
No, sir. I mean, John, no.
That's right. No, you didn't. So don't be acting all tough to Harlequin over here. You did not tell Aunt B to take a day or two. Acting tough.
and then let me know. And if not, then she's going to take the $15,000, go get her somewhere. Go get her something. And I said, this whole thing back and forth about if you don't do what I say, taking cars, that's why I'm avoiding all that, because that's not going to fly. I'm not going to let someone do Harley like that. I told her, I said, I'm not mad with her for what she did. I'll talk to her about it, but I need to know where she's going.
That's not what you
Even
said.
if you can't tell me beforehand, that whole time you were there, Harley, me calling you could say, hey, Mom, I'm in Tennessee. You think I don't know Melissa and them and trust them with my life? So therefore, I trust them with your life. Right? When nobody was there in North Carolina.
And Al and Landon trusted you with their kid's life. They trusted you with their baby's life. So I hope the people around Harley I'm going to keep my energy calm because it's so infuriating to listen to this. And I hope Al and Landon never listen to these calls because it is so disgusting. But I hope the people around Harley take more regard of her life than you did for Gannon.
Right? When nobody was there in North Carolina, who do we have? The people in South Carolina, right? That's who we had. That's all we've ever had. We really haven't had my mom and none of my siblings. We've had Dee Dee. We've had Melissa. We've had Amy, right?
Yay! Look, I'm on the screen. We've had Melissa. Did she say Melissa or Monisa? I don't know what she said, but the screen says my name, so I'm taking credit.
We've had Dee Dee. We've had Melissa. We've had Amy, right?
Can you guys call me Melissa from now on? Why did she say the name like that? That's not how you have you been pronouncing someone's name that they share with me that way their entire lives? That would piss me off if somebody called me Melissa instead of Melissa. Are you serious? We've had Carly's probably like, who the fuck's Melissa? Are you kidding me? You don't even know how to pronounce her name right. I have never had somebody accidentally call me Melissa, okay? Jesus.
We've had Dee Dee. We've had Melissa. We've had Amy, right? These have been the people that we've known. Courtney. You know, these have been the people. And I love them and trust them. Just tell me where you are, And for God's sake, if you buy something like that, just do it out of your money and the money that I'm sending you. All right? And if she gives you money,
she's not this is what is so sick about Deisha. It's so sick that she's already budgeting, accounting 15 grand to go to a car, the amount for rent, and all she got was a little over $1,000. That was all she's accumulated for retirement because she didn't work. But do you like, and this is why I feel bad with Harley, because like that's your mom. You wouldn't expect your mom to like straight up go this in depth with, like, you want to be able to rely on your mom. I know that if you had like if you normally had your mom saying, listen, I got you, I'm going to help you, we're going to do this, it's that burden that lifts off you because your parents got your back, you know, they're going to help you. But imagine having this mom telling you, oh, like, don't worry. What if Harley believed her? What if Harley relied on that? That's so messed up.
your apartment and rent, you're not saying a word that you have it already as a backup plan. All right?
Okay.
Because she's going to have to handle the, I don't have anybody else, but she's got to handle my private attorney. She's the only person that I can trust that can legally know what she's doing. I don't have a mother that's smart enough to do it, and my father's a piece of crap.
Oh. What'd she just say?
Okay, what the
What are you criticizing other people's parenting, Letecia? What'd you just say?
I have a mother that's smart enough to do it, and my father's a piece of crap.
You don't have a mother who's smart enough to do it, and my father's a piece of crap. Why? Because she didn't send you a book? Coming from the child murdering stepmom. Let that sink in. Letecia.
So that's why Amber's the only one that could. I'm not giving her. I gave you financial and everything else, and I gave her ability to be over the legal stuff because you couldn't be over it, right? So that's why. I'll call you back tomorrow and talk to you more about it. I don't want you to be upset with me. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm not mad with you. I'm telling you to be smarter and wiser on a bank account. You got to be smart. I'm not telling you to cheat the system. I'm telling you to be smart, right? If someone's helping you, you be smart and you play the cards. You got to know when to hold.
Oh, no, she's not about. Hold on. Did I just pause it? Was she about to bust out in a song? She's not about to say, you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. Is she really the child murderer? But I'm the only one who could bust out in song, first off, okay? You cannot, okay? But is she about to quote a song? No, you cannot Kenny Rogers it up in here. No. No. She's so serious. And she's about to quote lyrics.
Any objection? All objections.
Oh my God. I paused that. Hold on. Okay.
If someone's helping you, you be smart and you play the cards. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them, right?
Oh no, I feel another video coming on. Tisha. Bitch, you don't even have a deck to play with. You don't even have a deck to fucking play with. You are in no position to be sitting there and giving advice, okay? But no way is she busting out. She's giving. Next thing you know, she's going to be, listen, don't go chasing waterfalls. I can't with her. Oh my Lord.
Smart and you play the cards. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them, right? That's a skill I got to teach you. Huh? Do what?
That's a skill I gotta teach you. Please don't look where you are. Look where you are. Okay? You are not skilled at all, man. You're sitting with two jokers and the direction cards, and you're like, royal flush. You don't know what you're doing. So cut that out, Tisha. Dear Lord. I gotta teach you my skills. She's holding up two jokers and the direction card that comes with the deck. You ain't got shit, girl. You gotta cut that out. Oh, welcome, a million sparkles. Thank you so much for joining. We're happy to have you. Welcome to Members Only Monday. My dear Lord. So bad. Thank you, a million sparkles. Oh gosh. No, you don't want no scrubs. Scrubs is a kind of get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of your best friend's drive. Trying to holler at me? No, don't go chasing waterfalls. Listen to the river and the lake that you used to. All right? Let me teach you. My spawn, blood of my blood. Follow my ways. Thank you, Alina. Alina just gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you so much and congratulations. Make sure you thank Alina if you just received one and got busted out from the other side. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, fine. I see a few people. It's worth the demonetization. It's worth it. So, yes, we have a new song coming your way because clearly Tisha likes to bust out in songs. So, hold on.
The people are like really nice. Like everybody knows my name.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
She keeps on. She keeps on. She keeps on. She keeps on. She keeps on.
You can hear the music from 26 miles away. Smiling is happy, and happy is here to stay. Yeah.
Keeps on. 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 She keeps on talking me.
The people are like really nice. Like everybody knows my name.
Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
I'm realizing how many times Letecia speaks in song lyrics. And thank you, Michelle L, for being a member for 3 months. Wow, 3 months. Thanks for all the laughs. You keep on being you. Well, thank you so much for the support, and I appreciate it. Okay, may as well do it now if you guys already saw the other one. So hold on.
For the interviews, because I don't have any fancy clothes.
You go to my closet, you take whatever you need. You too, Brennan. You guys got to look sharp. It's the most important day of our lives, okay?
Okay, Dad.
What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Hit top, rollie, boy, we know you phony. Take her to the mall and buy her what she want it. Already smashed, so I'ma let the homie. RP my cash and RP a Kobe. If you're born in September, then you know you're my type. If I see you on Tinder, then I gotta swipe right. If you're born in October, then you're just like me. Here's a resume, can you fill this out, please? What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that.
All right, Tisha. I know, I do too all the time, Stephanie. Thank you, Kathy. Worth the pieces of monies. Yeah, it is, because I like the laughs. The laughs are totally worth it. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. So she speaks in a lot of song lyrics, man. And I don't think so Lisa asked why wasn't she cuffed in the back. This was en route and it was a long drive, and so this was like going in and out to the bathroom. So I don't think she was on the FRAD yet because she didn't do the Hulk monster smash can. Yay, we're so happy, SW. Yeah, we have a very generous community here. Everyone is so lovely and we're happy to have you. So she was bound by her ankles and bound by her wrists in the front. But that changed after she went on the FRAD because she attacked and tried to escape. So again, Tisha, please tell us more about your life lessons. We really need to hear them. I'm sure Harley values them.
Nothing. I was on our Bellamy page and somebody just put, come on, oh, I just put something bad. Very soon.
Somebody put what?
Have a wonderful night.
They just said something mean to us.
Mean to y'all?
Yeah, to the company.
Screw them mean people. You don't have time for mean people. You said you don't have time for mean people, right?
Coming from the meanest, evilest person of them all. You are not one to preach positivity, Tisha.
Right, you pray for them. I got to get off here, so I'm just going to tell you that. I'm not mad at you. Don't get upset. Don't go crazy. Don't say my mom forced me. I'm not forcing you out. I'm telling you, I got to teach you these skills of being smart. And if someone's going to help you till this is over, then you ain't got to worry about it when this is over. I guarantee you that, Harley Hunt. All right? But we're gonna walk through this together and finish tomorrow how you're gonna get through this, all right? And I'm not doing the car unless she's agreeing to this on my insurance. All right? If not, you're gonna buy the other car, all right? And I'll get you more words as soon as I find out, and I'll call you tomorrow, okay? Oh, and if that lady calls you, she might call you. If she calls you, she might call you to ask for some of the security questions, and you might have to help her.
Again, making her spawn complicit. She's not supposed to be working as a middle person for other inmates. That inmate Tiffany, she is having Harley try to log in to Tiffany's mom's. I don't even know, but you're making your child complicit with people that leave her be. Elena just gifted another 10 memberships, guy. Thank you so much, Elena. My dear Lord. Thank you. And congratulations. If you guys received a membership from Elena and got busted out, please make sure you thank her. She's always so generous and kind. So thank you. Thank you. I know we have a lot of members here just from Elena. So thank you so much. The Monster Mash Solo Sock. That's a good one. Oh, man. I know, right? She's so kind. Thank you so much, Elena.
Because trying to get in that account, okay? All right, love you, bye.
Okay,
Hello?
so our next...
Hey.
Hold on, slow down, Tisha. I'm not there yet. My thing froze. No, you stop it. Stop it. Okay. So our next call is from... No, not Lisa. Harley does not have a relationship with Letecia anymore. Okay, so the next call... you stop. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Okay. Our next call is with Harley again, but the next day. Wow, the next 3 calls are with Harley. Okay. The next day. All right, so let's listen. They're a little... Oh, yeah, definitely hit the thumbs up if you guys could take a moment and do that. Thank you. All right, so she's talking to Harley November 8th, 8:35 p.m.
Yeah, I'm just washing my
Yes.
blanket.
Hey, Lori, with the dogs you told
Yay! Congrats, Lori.
Well, it was like hanging on the floor, and Chance was mad that I wasn't giving him attention, and he peed on it. And it's white, so.
He's needy. Sometimes food, and usually he doesn't want attention.
I know. He's been wanting attention all day today. And I took him to the park and everything.
He must don't feel good.
He and Chance play at the park with their friend Tito.
What kind of dogs are those?
American Bulldog.
You got to be careful because Sadie's not fixed.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, did you remember that from your handy dandy journal, Tisha? There's another slip you totally recall. Sadie not getting fixed, right? But if you have a whole memory lapse time slip you can't account for, how would you know whether or not the dog... Just shut up, Tisha. I learned that from Jen Luz last night. She needs the Shut Up Tisha merch. Shut up, Tisha.
Because she would die trying to have American Bulldog.
No, see this taboo.
Yeah, don't forget to ask the vet so I know how much that's going to cost.
Why are you paying for it? Don't forget to ask the vet how much that's going to cost. Why? You ain't paying for it? In Monopoly money? How are you paying for it, Tisha? You can't even afford your shebangs.
Oh, well. I pulled the washer out. I'm trying to get it to go back in, but I can't. Here we go. All right, I think I got it. I realized in life that no one will ever be as organized as me.
Huh?
That I realize in life no one will ever be as organized as me.
I know.
I'll just keep it to myself. That one.
No, that's how I feel.
That's how you feel, Tisha? Tisha can't be left out now. Harley says, I don't feel like in life anybody is as organized as I am. And Tisha turns around and says, that's how I feel. Bitch, I saw you in your 90s windbreaker, okay? I see you. I've seen your toilet. I've seen your light. I have seen the filth that you sleep upon. You cut that out. There are plenty of people who are more organized than you. Okay?
Organized, noise clean.
Okay.
That's how it goes sometimes, you know?
Yep.
Did you talk to Aunt Brenda?
I totally forgot.
Alright. Well, you just make sure you're not taking that car unless we buy it from her. If not, you're just going to go deal with another plan because there's no way I'm having you go through. I said, there's no way I'm having you go through this whole back and forth thing. So I've been very detailed with her about that. If you are doing that, then I'm not doing it unless it's on my insurance and unless it's we're paying her for it. You see what I'm saying?
But you want your child to go without a vehicle and rely on you with your make-believe money. Like, why wouldn't you advocate for that relationship to heal? And yes, it sucks, but you know what? If she has to deal with Aunt Brenda as opposed to what? Not having a car, get to work, get to church, get to her functions. That's what you'd want when you know damn well you do not have money coming in for her? And Harley listens at this point. It's sad.
Did you send her a letter?
No, she sent me one, but then I called her.
Oh, you talked to her on the phone?
I talked to her yesterday, or whenever it was I talked to you last.
Well, did you bring it up to her? Did she say anything?
Did I do what?
Did she, agree over the phone, or?
Well, at first she was just like, I talked to her, and I told her, I said, I understand her viewpoint, because the way you were talking was not okay to talk to an adult that way. Especially an adult who was taking care of everything you needed.
That is not what she said. Did you hear at any point in that call? Now we have the context. We have the context that Aunt Brenda sent her a letter, but Letecia didn't respond to the letter. She called Aunt Brenda. So we heard everything Letecia said to Aunt Brenda, at least. Did you hear Letecia at any point yesterday say to Aunt Brenda, Harley is an adult and she's taking care of everything? Harley was in an apartment with friends, Lisa Lee, and Aunt Brenda was helping her with a little bit of money each month. But no, Letecia didn't have active car insurance anymore. She wanted Harley to take it out in her name, do something illegal. Yeah, well, I'm slapping those thighs, man. I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad because that is not what she said. That's not what she said. Acting all tough and shit.
But I also told her that sometimes you have to remember she's very bipolar, and she doesn't take medicine for it. So that's why she goes in those stages.
To be fair, I don't know if Aunt Brenda's been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but Tisha, I can't rely on you because according to you, you have gastrointestinal disease, you have a rotting finger, your veneers are falling out, you're bipolar, you have DID, you're manic, you have everything under the sun. So I can't rely on you. You can't be diagnosing people up in here.
But you have to remember, too, that's not acceptable, but if she took meds for it, she wouldn't be like that. And I've told this woman for years, and she don't listen to me. So she ain't about to start taking them now in her 60s. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's just not. I mean, this already lost cause. And then when Grandpa died, all the work was on me and her. Really. When I tell you my mom didn't do anything, she didn't. She might come by once a week and say hi. But, I mean, I was 14, 15 years old, taking care of my grandpa, having him on a live, bathing my grandpa.
Were you? You know what else you were doing? Getting arrested for threats. Bombs. Literally. That was her minor track record when she was under 18. Maybe she did help with her graph. I don't know. I wasn't there. But we're dealing with a very pathological liar here. So it's poor Tisha. And again, you're criticizing your mom. You are so mad at your mom because she didn't send you a book. A book. Never mind that you brought complete shame and disgust upon your family name. You're mad about a book.
Bathing him now. And Brenda was doing everything. Then the same thing happened with Uncle Tommy. So she sat there and watched her dad. And then her husband of 30-some years, died slowly. And she did all the work. Think about it. Nobody helped her, Brenda. No one came from Texas. No one did it. I'm not taking up for her. I'm just saying that was enough to put her over the deep end where she does like these control things. Because she had two situations in life where she had to take control and nobody would help her. This is what I told her. I told her I agreed with what she did. I already told you this. You should have been smarter about the money thing. For example, if you went to Walmart and you bought groceries, right? It was $80, right?
But mom,
wait
a
minute.
As a parent,
Harley,
would you have done that?
Harley.
Okay, sorry.
Let me
I'm
finish.
listening.
Okay. If you go to Walmart and you get $80, okay, in groceries, and you say, I'm going to a concert, I might need some cash, right? You get $50 back, right? So that becomes $130 that you used at Walmart. She don't got to have any business to what you did with that $50. Do you see what I'm saying?
So you're not teaching Harley. You're not saying that you're even upset or disagree with what she did. What you're saying is she didn't do it and get away with it. What Letecia just told Harley is you weren't smart enough. AKA, if you spent $80 at the grocery store from the account Aunt Brenda sees, You then don't go to a concert and then spend another, $50, and she's going to see that $50 charge. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the grocery store and then take $50 cash back, the cash out. So all it looks like is that you spent $130 at the store, and it's up to you what you do with that $50. It's not you. Shame on you. You're teaching her how to steal properly. No wonder this kid is confused as fuck, because you're saying it's wrong, but at the same time you're saying you just weren't too smart. You weren't smart enough to do it without her seeing. You're gross.
Have any business to what you did with that $50. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now your question was what I did as a parent. Well, if you would have ever told me that it didn't concern me, absolutely.
No, that because I didn't say that until after.
Harley, I'll let you finish when I'm done.
Okay.
Second, I'll let you get your conversation. Second, you've had a very privileged life, all right? You've gotten everything you wanted when you want it. You've been to every country you could imagine. You've flown airplanes around the world. You did it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are privileged. So just because during that time, you had to treat her with respect because she was giving you things, the same lifestyle that you've always had. So you have to treat her with that same kind of respect. Now, you're not going to always agree with her because I told you she's crazy. But you got to know that you got to let me be the mediocre person for that, be the mediator for it, all right? Because I know how to handle her. There's only 2 people in this world still alive that knows how to handle her. That's me and you, okay? So if there's a situation with the one thing where you didn't want to go out of town, what did I do? I immediately handled it. She might have got mad for a moment, but then she was fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing this long enough to know how to give her enough control, but to take control of the situation and she not realize it. I've been doing this long enough to know that.
You shady, manipulative bitch. I'm sorry, but there's no other words. You're teaching your child, huh? I didn't realize I had money like that too. You're stealing it $8,000 from your husband. You want to talk about respect? You murdered your stepson. You want to talk about respect? Really? Basically, what she's saying to Harley is do better, don't get caught, because she's our cash cow. Anne Brenna doesn't give a shit, unfortunately. She doesn't want to listen. I think Anne Brenna is a very lonely older woman, which is very sad. And so she is being consciously naive about the situation. Yeah, she's literally describing manipulation. Not from her mom. Not from her mom. And again, describing her childhood, her life so fabulous. It is ideal. You had everything. As your mom sits in jail awaiting trial, being charged with the murder of your stepbrother. Yeah, you're right, Letecia. She has everything. I guarantee those damn plane trips to all those places means shit in comparison to whether or not she'd want to be in this situation, or she would have gave it all up to have her fucking mom and her brother and her family back.
So that's what you haven't learned that skill because you haven't been around her that long. Now, as your parent, if I would have found out that you were in another state and I didn't know, absolutely I would do the same thing. Because that's
but all I was saying.
Go ahead.
All I was saying to her is that she can't assume all of these things and not sit down and talk to me and have a conversation.
Okay, what was she assuming?
If she would have came here and sat me down and we had a conversation, then it would have avoided the entire issue.
Harley, you're not a person that can be sit down with a conversation because you are too sentimental. You don't have it like you're not like you want everybody to be along. You love everybody, and that's the girl.
Excuse you? You're too. Did she say sentimental? You're too. You get too sad. Yeah, you're not a person. You get too sad. You're too tender-hearted. There's no possible way Aunt Bretta could have sat down with you and had a conversation because you just get too girly. What? Hey, Meat Feets. What in the Elmer Fudd does that mean? What? I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure you're having a conversation with her right now. And let me tell you something. The way that your daughter stops the moment that you tell her, hold on, let me finish, and she apologizes, that's respectful. She's angry. She has something to say. Yet she does not raise her voice over yours, and she stops when you tell her to stop and to let you finish. That's being respectful, even in a very emotional conversation. I have full belief that Harley could have conducted herself well in having a conversation with Aunt Brenda. Hey, OCD Shaggy. That's really, yeah, she was obedient and she's being respectful, even though you could tell she's frustrated and angry. And she's frustrated and angry with a lot more than just the car, because they hadn't even spoken about the huge elephant in the room, Gammon.
Because you are too sentimental. You don't have it like you're not like you want everybody to be along. You love everybody, and that's a great trait. But when you're dealing with two different type of personalities, you got a type A personality person in her, right? Now this is what you should have learned in school. When you're dealing with psychology, you got a type A personality with her, and you're the complete opposite. You're not going to be able to sit down and conversate. If you want someone to conversate with her, you need someone like
Converse.
me or my sister, because we know her and we have the same personality traits. So you can't expect her to sit down and talk to you that way, because you're never gonna get on the same page.
Well, and she may be a bit snobby, Lisa. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Harley, but she was still being like, the way she was taught. Letecia's literally saying you're incapable. I don't know if conversate's a word, but it's converse. You're talking about converse. But she refuses to acknowledge all of the elements in this situation right here. And it could have gone worse. Let me tell you something. Like, me as a 17-8-year-old, I popped off. Like, I had an issue with authority, and I would not have responded the way Harley responded. So to say that she's incapable when I just heard what I heard, no. That was nothing.
The same way, if you wanted to save the world and free all the animals and save all the whales, right? You're that type of kind-hearted person.
Save all the whales.
Sit down and talk to her about that. You know what she'd say? She'd say, "I don't give."
Save all the whales. Like, that's so random. Free Willy, yo. Come on, Tisha. And she's about to say Aunt Brenda says fuck all the animals.
That type of kind-hearted person. If you sit down and talk to her about that, you know what she'd say? She'd say, I don't give a shit about them wolves.
About them wolves.
That's not something she can have control over.
You know what she got? Never mind.
Go ahead. Tell me.
Yeah. No, nothing.
No.
I don't want to.
No. Go ahead.
I don't remember.
No, you're going to tell me.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Don't play me, Harley.
I'm not playing you.
Okay. I'm totally 100% always going to be on my daughter's side.
Are you, though? Because you end up talking shit with Aunt Brenda about Harley every other call. You guys are like two gossiping high school girls sitting in the corner of the lunchroom cafeteria talking shit about Regina George. Jealous.
But I'm also helping you understand where the situation could have even been avoided more, because had I even known,
just say that we were both at fault.
Okay, I'm gonna give you on this one those 75, and I'm gonna give her 25.
75.
Yes, because
Harley, don't let it get you upset, girl. This is Letecia Stauch deeming. I'm gonna give you 75% fault and Aunt Brenda 25%. Okay. Harley could have just easily said, okay, and how much at fault are you for the murder of Gannon? And she would have been like, new phone, who dis? I'm a vampire. What's going on? I'm here for special powers. We don't need to hear shit from you as far as deeming accountability. Yes, Letecia logic. Are you serious? Coming from the queen of avoiding any type of accountability. Cut it out, Tisha. How much of a this is gaslighting 101. This is brutal to listen to.
And I'm going to give her 25.
75?
Yes. Because you cannot, let me tell you how this works. The money she was giving you, okay, to pay your expenses, okay, I added it up. You should have had enough left for November and for December, right? All right. But you said you transferred this back or something back to the account or whatever you did. In a person's mentality who's in their 60s, they didn't grow up in the internet. You know what year the internet came, right? They don't think like that. That's where you got to learn to.
Tisha, what year is it right now? Because if Harley asked her mom, what year is it? Tisha would say, oh, my year is 2019, but your year is 2020. For somebody who we just listened to with Aunt Katrina, Amy, she's sitting here saying she doesn't think it's 2020. As far as she knows, it's 2019. She's sure as hell having logical, coherent conversations, right? She's going back to her cell. She's adding up the numbers, calculating the rent, how much should be accounted for, how much shouldn't be. I would have called her out. The math ain't mathin' is right.
Those traits. You guys talk by text. You don't have conversations with people, so you want people to come have a conversation with you. But you guys talk by text. You used to text me from your room.
I don't talk by text.
Harley,
I don't talk by text.
You used to text me from your room to my room.
Well, I don't do that anymore.
Okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't know right now, right? So my point is, all I'm saying is, she knows that I told her we're not going to do this back and forth. I'm not going through this with my child getting done that way. So even though I've told her that I blame you for it, I'm never going to tell her that, because I'm always going to have your side and be on your team and have your back no matter what. But I'll tell you personally what I think you could have done better.
And I don't blame Harley for getting upset, because all this time, all of these calls we've been going through before Letecia spoke to Aunt Brenda, Letecia was talking shit on Aunt Brenda. You guys know I was looking forward to the Aunt Brenda confrontation, because I wanted to see if Letecia was going to keep that same energy. And this entire time you were consoling Harley, saying how ridiculous Aunt Brenda was being. She's crazy, X, Y, and Z. And now all of a sudden it's like 75% your fault. I would be like, what? I would be just like Harley's being.
That's only to make you a better individual. God's grace is sufficient to forgive anybody, right? It is. That's what makes us Christians, because people that have been in these situations, John the Baptist, his head cut off, Paul persecuted, okay? Joseph in prison.
Excuse me. She's still Christian at this point. Just want to point that out. She's still Christian. Identifies as Christian today.
If they didn't have that grace back, right? What would this world be? You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to show people, that you have that grace in your heart no matter what. I don't care.
Trust me, I do.
I know, and that's what you got to continue to do, because if you show these people anything that you have anything different in your heart, that's not the way we model things as Christians, right? So I'm not mad at you. I'm taking her outside 100%. I'm telling you that I told her either we're going to buy the car from her, or, and she already knows how the money's coming. She already knows all that. I've already talked to her, everything, because she's handling the stuff with the legal counsel.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
So,
wow, this is like the first time she's actually gone all the way to the end. And it's when she's criticizing Harley. Yeah, vampires worship the Lord. Don't ask questions, Lisa. We're not meant to ask questions. We're just supposed to absorb it. You know what I mean?
What? What the fuck?
It's Letecia logic.
If it hangs up, I'm going to call you back to finish out this conversation just in case for like a few minutes. But anyway, and then I won't call you in the morning. But then I won't call you in the morning.
Okay.
All right, so I told her that's how it's going to happen. She's going to help you with the November stuff or whatever. And she knows she's going to either take the amount for the car.
Well, I had Aunt Katrina. She sent me $100.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to talk. Did you ask Aunt Katrina?
Well, I just asked her if she could send me $100 for my phone bill, and she did. So.
Okay. All right. All right. So I'm going to hang up and call you right back. All right.
Okay. So it hangs up and she ends up calling her back for another call. But I guess we'll stop it here and we'll finish the rest with the next episode. Because I know Bendy is live with, I think she's doing the Montgomery updates. So we could stop here and we could do a Jade raid over there for anybody who is interested. But thank you all so much. We will continue with the next episode right there where we left off. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate every one of you who are members. Thank you so much for Alina and anybody else who had gifted memberships. Your support is so greatly appreciated and it means so much. Congratulations to anybody who became a member because of these amazing members who are gifting. So thank you so much. I will drop Bendy's link and we could go over there. Other than that, I will see you all tomorrow. So have a wonderful night.